taking my question. Thank you for coming to Homestead. I was there that day. I saw you. I was there witnessing. I saw how moved you were. I heard your eloquence. Thanks for continuing to lift it up. It really matters. As you know, a lot of us were inviting the candidates who were there in Miami to come 25 miles down the road to Homestead, and not everyone did. Not everyone stayed to see the kids, but you did, so thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
And this is my son, Carol King. I was looking over the ladder, I thought, those kids look just like him, you know, just like my son.
Yeah.
So can you say a bit more, what would you do to end ICE, to end family separation?
Yeah.
Would you repeal 1325?
Yeah, let's completely rewrite 1325 so that no child, no man, no woman, no family is ever criminally prosecuted for doing what any human would do in the same set of conditions. When I talk to these families, and in fact, we went to a shelter, an alberga in Ciudad Juarez called Casa del Migrante, to ask folks, why did you make that journey from Honduras or Guatemala or El Salvador? Something that may be obvious to some, but not to everyone in this country. They left because they had to. There was literally no option other than fleeing for their very lives. I met a young father who, with his wife and their 3 or 4-year-old child, made that 2,000-mile journey. And he talked about showing up to work one day at 5:30 a.m. in the morning. There are armed gangs waiting for him. They tell him, I know who your son is, I know who your wife is, you meet our demands or we are going to kill your family. He goes to the local police department and their advice to him is you should leave the country. He talks about crossing the Chihuahuan desert, spending 6 hours on one broiling hot day in the middle of the summer, losing one of his shoes, talks about the sun on the back of his neck, the sun reflected off of that sand, somebody with whom he was traveling, dying along the way of exposure to the elements. His child on his shoulders finally makes it to the United States, is apprehended because he turns himself in, spends 3 days in one of these hileras or ice boxes, one of these border patrol stations, then is remanded back to Mexico, penniless, without a resource or a friend to his name in that country, waiting in line to be processed by our own asylum laws. That guy did not want to take on that journey just for kicks, or to steal someone's job, or to take our benefits, or to change the character of this country. He came because he had no choice, and if he is successful here, his success will follow in the best traditions of this country and will accrue to the benefit of all of us. So realizing that, we end the criminalization of people for doing everything that is human. We free those families who are detained right now. We use a family case management program that ensures that they can stay in the community of Manchester or El Paso or wherever they are in the United States at 1/10 of the cost of incarceration. We end, by the way, the for-profit detention incarceration corporations. They don't get any more of our business. They don't lock up any more immigrants. And then we make sure that we welcome those who have no other place to go. We lift the caps on our visa quotas. We ensure that there's a safe, orderly, legal process to come work a job, join your family, or flee persecution in this country. That is America living up to its promise to us and to the rest of the world. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.